Hey guys, welcome to the February 5th, 2013 edition of the Matt Rundown. So first, for random news, we don't have a whole lot this week, but we have two WWE DVD releases that have been announced for April. The first is the best of In Your House and Mick Foley for All Mankind. So definitely look for reviews on those. And to get started with Impact, first of all, we had Impact live from the United Kingdom this past Thursday, which was nice. It's really nice to see Impact in large arenas. And guys, starting on March 14th, 2013, Impact is going to be on the road every week. And this is something I've definitely been wanting for a while. It definitely makes TNA look small scale, being in the same tiny building every week for Impact. So it's definitely something that's necessary for them to grow the company. But I have two concerns. One, are they going to be able to fill up these venues consistently? And I have faith that they wouldn't have made this decision if they weren't confident that they'd be able to do that. And my number two concern is, I know a lot of these older wrestlers, they enjoy being in TNA because the travel is lighter. You know what I mean? So if you're doing this, are you going to be able to hold on to some of these guys? They've been advertising the Lockdown pay-per-view, ticket sales and stuff like that. It's live from the Alamo Dome in San Antonio, Texas. The thing is I looked this up on YouTube. It's a 65,000 seat venue. You know what I mean? And plus, whenever you have wrestling, you have floor seats on top of that. Are they going to be able to sell this out? Because that's a lot of seats for TNA. I mean, that's larger than a typical Monday Night Raw arena or something. And if you've been reading the dirt sheets, you're probably not too shocked that Wes Briscoe and Garrett Bischoff were revealed to be in Aces and Eights. Wes Briscoe, there's been a dude in Aces and Eights with the mask on, and he's got this curly hair. It's pretty obvious that it's Wes Briscoe, even though when he's not wearing that mask, he has his hair pulled back a lot of the times. But, so yeah, they've revealed themselves to be in Aces and Eights. I'm starting to really dig where this is going, so hopefully they'll keep that momentum up. And next week on Impact, we have Devon and Doc versus Sting and Bully Ray in a tables match. So definitely I'm looking forward to that. So we'll see how that is. I'm expecting it to be a pretty good match. And now on to the WWE, guys. The first thing that I have to talk about is last night on Raw, when they're talking about the Raw Active match, which I would be shocked if they're not rigged, at least a little bit. They had a tutorial on installing the WWE app. Like, how dumb do they actually think we are? Do they think we're a bunch of 90-year-olds and we have no grasp on technology whatsoever? If you own a smartphone, you probably shouldn't need a tutorial on how to download an app. And man, in the past week, we've had three big returns in the WWE. We had, of course, Brock Lesnar coming down, F5ing Vince and breaking his hip, the typical old man injury. And then we had Jack Swagger come back. And the way that he's being used right now, I'm really liking where it's going. I think they might actually decide to elevate this guy, to main event status. We'll see where that goes. And of course, Mark Henry coming back. And he took out Daniel Bryan and then, decimated Sin Cara and Rey Mysterio. So it's good to see him back. Speaking of Brock Lesnar returning on Raw, how many times do we have to see the replay of that? You know what I mean? They show it to open the show, a slightly condensed version, and then later on they show pretty much the entire segment on Raw, and then later on they show another condensed version, and then he actually shows up. So our attention span isn't that short, at least mine isn't. I can't really speak for y'all, but we don't need to see the same replay over and over again. We know you have 3 hours to fill up, but seriously, guys. So the way I see this angle with Brock Lesnar going, guys, is at some point Triple H is going to show up, and he's going to be pissed that Brock did what he did to Vince, his father-in-law, even though, Triple H has done so many worse things to Vince McMahon in the past, but we're not supposed to remember that. And that's going to set up their match at WrestleMania. And I think that we can kind of tell that Kane and Daniel Bryan are leading towards a breakup at some point. What I see is them dropping the belts either at Elimination Chamber or soon after, maybe the next night on Raw, and then probably having a singles match at WrestleMania. Bruno Sammartino is finally getting in the Hall of Fame. If you're a wrestling historian, this guy should have been inducted at the very first Hall of Fame ceremony. He's one of the greatest champions of all time, and he's from the golden era of wrestling, so he needs to get in. Alright guys, and as far as the Elimination Chamber, we have Rock Punk 2. We're also going to have Big Show Del Rio 3. And, we're going to have an Elimination Chamber match for the #1 contendership of the World Heavyweight title. And then another one that I see coming is, there's been this feud between The Shield, John Cena, Sheamus, and Ryback. So maybe we'll have a 3-on-3 elimination tag in a chamber. It hasn't been announced yet, but I do see that happening. It seems like we're building towards that. Alright guys, and just to let you know, this week I am going to be reviewing Satan's Prison, the anthology of the Elimination Chamber, just because, we got the Chamber pay-per-view coming up, so it seems like good timing. Alright guys, and thanks for watching this week. If you enjoyed this, go ahead and hit that like button. I really appreciate that. Subscribe if you haven't already, all that good stuff, and I'll see you next week. Have a good night.